Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about part 2 of my IVF story. There are 2 parts to this, and the first part is my embryo transfer and the second part is my results. Okay, so embryo transfer. So basically for that we went into the IVF office. It was pretty much like a pap smear, so the doctor, like, you're in the stirrups as normal and the doctor just implants the embryo. When you first go in, you can see your embryo on the screen, and it was the highest quality and so big, they said, and they were raving about how good it was. I don't know if they do that for everybody, but they were doing that for us. And then they implant the embryo, and then they check that the embryo hasn't got stuck in the tube, so they push water or something through it. And make sure so that you sort of hold your breath for that little bit. But I was talking to the doctor about why I'd only gotten 1 embryo and I was a bit teary, so I didn't really, it was more worrying for James that bit, because he was watching that and I was just crying because it's such a long and expensive process to only get 1 embryo, and if that embryo didn't work, we wouldn't be able to afford to do that centre again. Their prices have gone up, so you have to give them $9,000 up front and then you get a little bit back. I'm not sure how much you get back, but you get some back from Medicare. I think in the end you end up paying $5,500 still, but you actually have to come up with the $9,000. What you do is you get your embryo transfer. It didn't hurt, it was just like a pap smear, like it didn't really worry me. I took some pain medication before I went in, just for the discomfort, people poking around there. Sometimes you get a few spots of blood because they are putting something in there. So I took some pain killers and I had a coffee before I went in. So I waited a couple of days to get my results. I think I had to wait 9 days. Over that 9 days, I did take some pregnancy tests, which I'm going to show you. So the window, because it's been so long, like been a while, it's gone yellow. So, but you can still see what the results say. You can see it is positive, and it continued to get darker. I think that's the last day before my blood test, which they call a beta. So they see how much HCG hormone is in your blood. In the middle of the day, I took one that was really light, and it was a lot lighter than day 7. Don't know if you can see that, but yeah, so day 8 was a lot lighter, and when I saw this test getting lighter, I realized that something wasn't right, and I instantly got upset. But then later I took one that was quite dark, so I was like, oh, there's still hope. So basically you have to go in for your blood test before 9 o'clock so that they can get the results, and then once they get the results they call you. So my clinic opens at 8 and closes at 4, so basically around 3:52 in the afternoon I was getting a bit like, what is going on? When I found out that I got the 1 embryo and I cried all day, that's when I sort of came to terms with, okay, this cycle is going to be tricky, or this cycle is not going to, there's not a very high chance for this cycle. I realized I might have to do it again, and I've dealt with that. So I pretty much was like, okay, this is our shot. And then I got my positive pregnancy test and I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Like, I was so happy when I saw the 2 lines, and I was like showing James, and we were really happy about it. When we got the results from the actual blood test, it appears, so when I get my embryo transfer, just remember that the cycle starts the day you get your period. So if you're 40 weeks pregnant, that includes the 2 weeks where you weren't pregnant at the beginning of your cycle. So really you've only been pregnant for 38 weeks. So plus the embryo is growing outside of the body for 5 days. So when you get your transfer and you wait 2 weeks for the blood test, you're actually at 4 weeks pregnant if it's positive. So I was about, so in between week 3 and 4 is when I found out. Had my positive test, so it was positive. the embryo has implanted, my body has started producing the pregnancy hormone, which is HCG, and it's positive. So we just want it to stay that way and everything is fine. So I got my blood test, and unfortunately the results were that my HCG level was 9, 50 is normal. So it had implanted, and I was pregnant, but unfortunately it hasn't taken the next step into developing, and I am miscarrying this embryo at the moment, so it just wasn't a viable embryo. Yeah, so we're gonna have to start the cycle again. We can't afford to go with the company that we're currently with, which is really sad. So I've sent off all our information to a more bulk build, cheaper option in Sydney City, Primary IVF. So I think we'll give that a go, and obviously I will be making a video about my next cycle. But yeah, so one failed IVF cycle under our belt. It's a very emotional thing for a cycle not to go for both James and myself, and right until we had gotten the call to say it was not good, James still had really high hope. He felt a bit stressed, but yeah, it's we just have to start again, which is really hard, and there's so many needles and things like that involved, and yeah, but we're very grateful because we have the opportunity to do this, and in America it's like $30,000 a cycle. So if your first cycle doesn't work, it can cost you $60,000 to try a second time. So we're very grateful that we don't live in America and we have a Medicare in Australia, which is awesome. Plus we have each other, and we have so many, we're so blessed in so many other ways. We have a house, and we have awesome family and friends who have supported us through the process. And I'm sure they will for the next cycle. But our next appointment is next week, so hopefully the next one we can get some more eggs. We're taking some extra vitamins this time, especially me with my egg quality, just to see if that helps. But yeah, just feels a bit like back to square one. We wasted a lot of money, had so many injections, so many hormones. Also, I'm coming down off the estrogen because I don't need to take that anymore, or the progesterone either. So I'm sort of coming down a bit. My skin is getting better. You can still see, especially on my neck, all the lumps and bumps, but I had microdermabrasion or something yesterday, so my skin is actually looking a bit better, I can see. But yeah, back to injections and back to the hormones. Because I have a YouTube channel now, I will take some more pictures. I will put some pictures at the end of this video just so you can see some of the pictures and some of the things that we did. But it's unfortunate. Some ladies have to go through it like 8 cycles, or some aren't lucky enough to do a cycle at all, and some, yeah. So we're still feeling very grateful and very lucky and very blessed, and we have each other. And if anything, this whole experience has brought us closer together. You know, I didn't think, because James is such a shy person, I didn't think, you know, he doesn't really talk about his feelings too much. You have to learn how to read him to know what he's feeling. But a lot of this process, he's used a lot of words like feeling stress. He's just used words to express himself more. So I do definitely feel like it has brought us closer. Not that I ever thought we could get any closer, but he just thinks we have each other and we're just lucky. So we'll just give it another go and see how we go. But in the meantime, thanks for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day.